convention, we do a lot of conventions in the UK. We do the Bristol one, the Birmingham one, and the Leeds one. So the Leeds convention is growing in popularity, as you can see from the people here. So for small press and independent companies, this is our major outlet. So the shops don't tend to stock us. It's difficult to get distribution. So the conventions are where people come to get the different stories, the different comics, not superhero, not necessarily horror, but something a bit different.
What makes your comics different from mainstream comics?
Well, mainstream comics are mainly superhero or horror, so we do things that are quirky, a bit strange. I mean, the Wolfmen comic that we've done here is like a 1960s gangster with werewolves, so that's completely different. So we do something that isn't out there in the mainstream, and therefore people would buy it rather than compare it with things that are in the mainstream.
What's the industry like for a small press?
Tough, very tough.
Yeah.
I mean,
the recession?
I think it hasn't helped. I think it's always been tough because people want to spend their money on all their X-Men comics or all their Batman comics. They haven't got any money to spare, and then they're likely to take a risk. And also the retailers tend to want to stock the comics they know they sell, so they're not necessarily going to stock things they've never heard of from people they've never heard of. So that kind of getting that first foot in the door in a shop or with a customer is really, really tough.
Just to finish off, how's it been today?
Quieter than last year, I think, in terms of our sales, but I think a lot of our comics, because we've been to all the other conventions, we see the same people come past that were at Bristol and they say, is there anything new? And we don't produce that many new comics every year, so